Oh nyanyi. Enggak meleleh loh kak. Enggak loh. Sumpah iya dia meleleh ya. Ini nih plastik bukan bulu. Sudah gitu ya. Iya.
Penasaran dia?
Enggak.
Yang meleleh yang bahan plastik yang satunya itu.
Ini bulu nih ya.
Ini mah kayu bambu.
Oh iya ada. Mau kayu mau bambu.
Yang biasa buat cat. Buat cat tuh.
Yang di air kuah itu apa?
Air kaldu.
Oh enggak ada
Air kali.
Sabar.
Kenapa kak? Mau dimasukin apa? Udah kak, santai nonton aja kak.
Nonton. Ini tamu spesial, tamu spesial.
Ini tempat makan.
Oh ya duduk cantik.
Iya. Harusnya blue band.
Ya udah sih.
Nah ribut berdua.
Ini itu apa?
Iya. Tempat makannya.
Bukan aku bilang nanti dia kayak gini makan.
Oh mana?
Iya, indah banget ini yang bikin sausnya dikasih air.
Kayak mana caranya?
Ini ya.
Tolonginlah aku sini. Kamu nggak diajak kayak disuruh diam sini ya? Ini pawangnya bun, jadi yang lain nggak macam-macam. Iya, pawangnya ini.
Yang lain emang udah di atas.
Oh, udah dikurung.
Nanti dia aman.
Jangan ada telepon aja.
Fingerprint, gave his right for Miranda. Just like he was in trouble. Been involved in a fight, the shovel, things like that. I was totally exhausted. I couldn't even stand up.
Buat es buah kak.
Buat es
Bunda meta.
Buah es buah.
Mana?
Buah nggak buahnya?
Buahnya mana?
Dia ada buah naga tadi.
You're totally Alan's fine. He's dead. And you killed him.
Sumpah. Kalau udah dilepas ya.
Sama.
I just don't know what's going on. He put me with
Dia pernah ngumpet di kamar.
I've never heard of that. I've never been arrested.
Kirain ada kenapa ada deh buahnya.
Kate deh buahnya.
I said, there's no way.
Mangganya udah dimakan sama
Tadi
ada satu ya. Bisa satu makanya.
Oh, HP YouTube itu nggak? Full nggak memorinya? Nanti takut.
Apa itu nggak bawa aplikasi? They call this transmigration.
Oh nggak mau buat LG. Perdana loh.
Pak, lebih ke.
Jangan. Takutnya ada kalimat-kalimat.
Akun merah ya kak. Ada video
Kerja bu.
Yang penting tidak
seven-year-old brother is said to be possessed, gave her a card of
Just a lot of pushing and shoving. And then all hell broke loose.
Debbie felt like they would be proven.
Ako tim.
felt very
Oh, apa
positive
itu ya?
that we were going to be able to prove demonic possession.
Iya,
That's what we've all been through.
Buah naga ya?
It's
Buah naga, oh orang rara yang itu.
Berarti ada yang sakit deh.
Gak apa, kau jangan lihat.
So we had the
Sama
results,
anak ada pop.
pathologist
Yeah, okay,
report,
yeah.
our own pathologist report,
Sama
and
selas.
the
Sama
autopsy.
selas
We
boleh.
said to
Kalau
anyone,
ada. Kalau nggak ada.
I would not.
Kelas itu pas yang tadi kak.
Kamu nggak takut selas.
Harus dijaga emang.
Apa tadi? Apa tadi? Apa?
Oh, megang dia gini, Kak.
Kau sama nggak?
Udah, akunya belum ada.
Alpukat.
It wasn't our job.
Kalau ada nangka ya kak.
It was the demon who took over our body
Ah boleh.
and
Susu boleh satu.
thought they were crack pipes.
Sama ini apa?
Stay as far away from this case as you can. So I wanted to do more.
Outside, it looks like a quaint New England home. Inside, it resembles a set from a Hollywood horror movie. It's a museum documenting paranormal activity. Annette and Lorraine Warren say everything you see comes from real events.
You're in a building right now which houses probably the most ancient items of a Christian civilization in the world.
Down in a room, and they played me these tapes. I believed in the defense, and I also believed there probably wasn't another lawyer in the state that would represent me at this defense.
The devil made me do it. That's precisely what criminal lawyer Martin Manella says he will try to prove when his client comes to trial.
The nature of our defense is one that has been used in England, has never been used in the United States, the defense of demonic possession.
An indictment against Arnie Johnson, who lived upstairs here, is expected March 19th. Already, 3 cases have been tried in England. 2 on charges of arson, 1 on rape. The verdict in all cases, not guilty by reason of demonic possession.
In my 15 years of journalism career, this is by far the most bizarre story I've ever heard.
Lorraine and Ed Warren, known as longtime students and
Pakai
lecturers,
blueberry nih di matamu.
the Warrens are accused of a demonic influence now inside Johnson that drove him to kill.
The whole issue of demonic possession from a reporter's perspective is terribly difficult. Because you cannot prove it, you cannot disprove it. The best you can do as a good reporter is to try and find facts.
Kayaknya dikasih air. Biar dia banget dia lihat orang tersiksa. Jangan. Kayak dikit doang gitu kayaknya. Walaupun dikasih sedikit.
And that I
Malah
would be
ketemu
free
dia.
to prove the
Hah?
My news is obtained some rather
Kawi nggak bawa ini, nggak bawa HP, kagak. Undin. Kagak nggak ya? Bikin sama Blue Band.
Dong, kayak gitu. Bisa kampung.
And I was anticipating
Ini bukan
that we
kerja
would get
pakai
a lot of
otot
phone
ini,
calls
pakai
from people
otak.
saying, why did you
Kayak sekali
saw it?
balik.
Horrendous. Most of the phone calls were, when are you going to play it again? I was happy, and then we could all go on our way. They wouldn't say that.
Dikeremet-keremet biar nggak ujungnya aja ujung yang hitam. Makanya makin hitam pokoknya makin hitam.
Because history that numerous
Enggak lagi. Enggak. Senjata makan cempen kak. Bukan bagus kak. Kanan kiri tuh dia makan depan belakang.
The photos look super happy. I mean, I can't argue with you. But there was
Nah, kayak dia bilang tuh lihat tuh diteremin sama dia bagus.
Kan tadi sudah tekan-tekan kan?
Gepeng, kaki kaki.
her mother had birds in there. If things weren't going her way, she throw a tantrum. In front of people, she tried to portray herself as a holy roller and all of that.
Ini nambah sekali kan?
She's not even close to reality. She didn't go to church or any of this stuff until all this stuff broke out with David. And when Lorraine Warren stepped in the picture, that's when everybody came like, oh, we got to wear scapulars, we got to wear rosaries. And
I wasn't buying it. I was 15 when my brother supposedly possessed me. I'd never talked before on camera or anything, and I just wanted the truth to come out. Because an innocent man got killed. And they want to play it off that the devil made me do it. It's just far from the truth. I know because I lived it. I was outside and running. And Warren says, "What's going on here?" And I said, "Honestly, I think my family's nuts." I remember saying that to Warren. I didn't know what Ed and Lorraine Warren's agenda was at the beginning. I just sat back and watched, and just things didn't set right with me. They sit down at the kitchen table to discuss daily issues. They were like saying, well, he can start cursing at you, spitting at you, he'll grunt and growl like a savage. And my concern was, why talk about the subject when we're sitting right there? Have the kids go outside, go downstairs, go do something. But they want to make sure, we heard it. And we did. Like you're leading them on what to do. What kind of things did he do? In the beginning, the Warrens did come over a lot, like every other day. The first week, I think they showed up every day. Every night they had the cameras ready, the microphones ready. It turned into a show. There was one incident one evening that my mother was screaming at David, stop it, calm down, sit down. He started calling and all of a sudden, my father came out. You hear slap. Now I said it's murder. My dad and I were working outside, and my mother screamed, "You have to get down." When we get there, and Debbie's like, "Well, there was a bad fight. Alan got stabbed. He's over there." I saw Alan laying on his side. That's when I went over to him and rolled him over. Keep my. So, what are you gonna do? It's like, you're stuck. You know what I'm saying? It's just. It's not a feeling I like this. I don't really even talk about it, to be honest with you. It's just something I don't even want to remember. Because it was just something you can't help somebody. It's like my parents actually gave me money just so I could basically skip school and go do what I want to do for the day. They were petrified of me getting involved in this story. Because I knew this is all fabricated.
Thought Arnie would be found innocent because we were going to have the priest and the Warrens and all the evidence we gathered, the audio recordings, the photographs, and be able to show the court Arnie did not commit murder. He was possessed because he challenged the beast.
The prosecution was pushing for a maximum sentence for guilty conviction.
This is a case which the media has and the Warrens have spent a good deal of time publicizing for their own, I would suspect, financial interest. But as far as I am concerned, this is a routine to the extent it's possible to have a routine homicide.
Come out and say this was just a bunch of baloney, that we were trying to cover up just a simple murder case. Arnie had been convicted of murder. He was facing 25 to life.
Getting inside the courthouse was extremely difficult. It was standing room only. nobody knew what exactly to expect. It was almost like a showdown was going to occur with Martin Minnella coming in with this demonic possession defense, Judge Robert Callahan having to make a ruling on whether he was going to admit it or not.
It was a reality check, to be honest with you. Here I was in court, never been there before, facing 25 to life, and it was surreal.
I believed my client was going to get his day in court. Let the jury evaluate the credibility of what occurred. Not just believe in faith, believe in actual physical evidence and testimony, and then make their mind up based on this. But it never got that far.
The judge listened to precedents, to arguments, and then he said that demonic possession is not an acceptable offense. It is irrelevant in this case and in courts in the United States. It is not a science, and he will permit no evidence on demonic possession and devils. Jim Van Sickle, News 4, Danbury.
I was devastated.
You might stab him once, maybe twice, but not a number of times. Because if you do that, self-defense goes out the window.
Certainly seemed unusual.
That was the only way that I would have a chance not to get 25 to life. I had to take the stand. It was kind of difficult to take the stand because I really didn't remember what happened. And that's what I told him.
I think everybody felt this was just a very unfortunate story on so many different levels, but at the same time, there was somebody who was dead and somebody who had caused that death, and justice had to be done.
Kemarin datang. Aduh, anak.
My sister was horrified that he was going to be convicted of murder, and he spent the rest of his life in jail.
Makanya ini kan udah dulu Pak, ada dua pertama kali saya masuk sendiri di kafe. Dibikin ada dua
The judge came and got the verdict from the form and the jury. I was very nervous and terrified. The verdict was not guilty of murder in the first degree, guilty of manslaughter in the first degree.
Kalau suhunya kepanasan mati sendiri.
Then we came to sentencing. And I remember Judge Callahan's words to this day.
Pasti ini deh. Tangannya bisa.
I have no alternative but to give you the maximum sentence allowed. 10 to 20 years. Sentence. Debbie jumped up and told the judge, Callahan, she goes, "You're sick, you're insane." And then she just went running, crying. When I was exiting courthouse, Debbie broke through the camera people and ran up to me to give me a kiss. And I told her, I said, I want you to go live your life because I don't know what's going to happen in mine. This way you still have a life. She started to cry. She goes, you don't love me. I said, I do love you. That's why I'm giving you freedom. She goes, no, I will never leave you.
I've always said it from the beginning. Arnie's innocent. He's been to hell and back.
Ini siapa? Dia yang pembunuhnya. Dia bilangnya dia tuh kerasukan, pas pembunuh itu kerasukan, jadi nggak sadar. Makanya ada dua kubu kan bilang kamu tuh ada kayak ada dia entah pribadi dia juga, jadi dia bikin ada dua kubu.
The story told. She wanted to tell the truth and wanted people to know what was going on. Seated next to me is a mother of a once possessed child, and she's here to share with us her story. How do you do? Tell me how David is today.
Ada yang namanya mengenai pensakit.
Totally normal.
Arnie still has a lot of problems.
Here's a young man
who is now in prison. He is serving a 10 to 20-year sentence for manslaughter for something he really is not responsible for.
After the trial, my mother ended up going to got picked up in the limo and gone to dinner with Dick Clark. She was enjoying it. She was very excited and she couldn't believe what was happening to her. But Ed and Lorraine Warren had an agenda. They said you guys will be millionaires. The Warrens told me that they were going to do a book. They already had the author lined up, which I guess he did a previous book for them. They brought Mr. Brittle to talk with us. And they asked a bunch of questions and said, make it scary. And he goes, but I checked with the people and they said this didn't happen. And he goes, make it scary. People come to us, they buy scary. And Lorraine Warren took over.
Just like you do.
My mother and father received $4,500, but Ed and Lorraine Warren received $81,000 and some change. They're still making money with the Conjuring films. Lorraine told me I was going to be a rich little boy from having this book deal. And that was a lie. The Warrens made a lot of money off of us. If they can profit off you, they will. They're not going to pass up that deal. Well, my mother realized that she was getting what she called hood money. She lost faith in that. They were good at what they did, and they knew how to talk to people, and knew how to play people. They were very good con people. My brother David felt guilty over the whole ordeal. Heartbroken, actually, because he knew that Arnie was innocent.
Udah 18 tahun dia.
We actually were married to my cousin. She looked very beautiful. She was radiant. Can't wait to hold her. It was great. This whole thing changed my life, brought me more religion. I am not possessed. I never had an exorcism, but I'm not possessed. And I know how to protect myself. I know what prayers to say. So I'm very much in control. My faith keeps me strong. So everything seems to be fine. Life is really fine. I think this whole case affected the entire family. It scarred everybody.
It twisted all of our lives upside down, and it's difficult to talk about. It's been over 40 years, but it changed us, and it's had lasting effects on everyone in the family.
We're at the point where we're basically all scattered, and none of us really talk no more. Seeing the pictures, they make me scared again. I'm very sad. Because a 11-year-old boy having a normal childhood until this happened. I gotta deal with it every day. Well, this story, you wanna know who's telling the truth. After my parents died, my wife and I were going through their belongings. My mother wrote down everything. She had OCD. It'd be on a piece of paper, a calendar, or whatever. She'd write notes down.
Kayak ada bau mangga gitu.
And on this one note, it said, well, the family had their medicine tonight and everything was good. As we looked into things, we realized there's more to this medicine. We found out that she was putting Somnex in our food. And she's been giving it to the whole family for quite a long time.
Some people can fall asleep in any place. But did simple tension keep you awake last night?
Take Somnex tonight and sleep. Somnex is absolutely nothing for you.
Just take 2 Sominex tablets directly for 100%.
I believe my mother used Somnex to control all us boys and my dad. At the end of the day, if everybody's tired and exhausted, guess what? Everybody's going to rest and just sit down. There's no more problems. But Somnex has long-lasting effects on people. Mood swings.
Maling.
It's very possible that my brother David has ingested enough of this stuff over the years where he did see things.
Berjuang loh dia.
Between David, Arnie, my brother Alan, they were all victims at the end of the day.
My mother would not drug the family. My mom took good care of us. The truth is, when I was 11 years old, I was possessed by a demonic spirit, I guess you can call it. That's what the truth is. I have no reason to lie about anything. I guess like my dad, I go buy a piece of junk and I fix it. Just stay occupied. Just stay busy. Because idle hands make the devil's work.
Tapi dia bilang ini, dia bilang dia nggak punya alasan lain karena emang jadi rasisnya. Terus endingnya dia bilang pedang lutang. Jadi kan kalau panas tuh kepanasan. Wah semakin keterbukaan ya. Kan seperti gitu kan kalau kepanasan dari. Iya itulah namanya smart teknologi. Asli banget padahal. Jadi smart loh. Smart. Emang nggak kering loh, pas dikeringin. Biar des. Makan itu loh. Susah banget orang kampung. Iya. Oh, sini. Wah. Apa ya? Kurang asin sih kurang. Dia tadi kan bumbunya langsung yang dari sana ya, nggak kita tambah-tambahin dan cicip. Oh iya, nggak ini dulu. Ini rasain dulu. Jadi rasa-rasakan kembali. Ya pertama setengah nggak asin. Ini kan kenapa ngebakar doang? Loh, bisa itu. Bagian bumbu kan saya pak. Dirty mind, dirty mind.